This is the commentary box.
To me, tweeting was something that birds did.
Leicester City are the champions of the Premier League.
Dilly din, dilly dong, come on!
Éder vai aguentar bem, Costiel e falta apoio ali sobre o lado direito, sai remate e o gol! Gol!
From a yard out, he couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo. And the celebrations begin.
Hello and welcome to the Commentary Box, a brand new football podcast. My name's Sam, I am a Swansea City supporter and I shall be one of your hosts. And I am joined by...
Jake. I'm a Gillingham fan supporter for quite a few years now, and we're very excited to start up this brand new podcast on football, talking a lot today. And what are we talking about today, Sam?
We will be talking about the FA Cup and Mark Hughes, and also we'll be talking about transfers with a bit of talk about Coutinho. So we hope you enjoy, and here it is. So if we get on to our first topic about the FA Cup, there were a few upsets, weren't there, Jake?
Yeah, definitely. Like, looking down at the obvious ones, Arsenal losing 4-2 to Notts Forest was completely unexpected. Newport getting a home win against Leeds quite late. There was a big one with Stoke, of course, losing 2-1 to Coventry. And one that people didn't really notice too much was Villa losing 3-1 at home to Peterborough.
Now, I caught the Nottingham Forest game yesterday, and I thought that was a really good game, but... Didn't Mark Hughes get sacked after he lost? Yeah,
he did. I saw that. It was sort of coming. It's people sort of talked about it for a while. I listened to a couple of other things online. I heard lots of people talking about lots of speculation, and it seemed that from a Stoke fan sort of perspective, it was an ongoing thing that it was coming, and the performances were poor. Signings weren't doing anything. The players were not going well. There's a big thing about Shaqiri. He wasn't really pulling his weight, and what is that highlighting him not bothered because of the manager? Is he trying to hint to move away? But had to go in the end. And obviously Coventry, wow, amazing for them. Now down in League Two, like that's what they need, a big cup win just to try and spark something there.
Yeah, of course. I think we've got to give a lot of praise to Coventry there, because though they're a Premier League side and they're not doing that well, it's a big match for them. But on the Mark Hughes point, he's led them to 2 9th place finishes in the last 2 seasons before the last one, because they finished 13th last season, if I remember. And he's actually turned them into a very good kind of team for good talent to come. Like, you've got Shaqiri there, you had Arnautovic, you've got good players going there. Do you think he's just not getting the best out of them at the moment? Yeah,
I don't know. It's hard when you look at a club and you know it's not going well. Do you turn to the players and think, are they the ones not performing? Or is it the manager? Is he not directing it well? It always varies, really. I think with this Stoke case, I think it's a bit of both. I can see some of those Stoke players out there, like when I watch Match of the Day or something, I can see them not really, pulling their weight or putting in the best performance possible, like a little bit of lack of effort here and there. Obviously the manager, he plays a part in it because he's getting them up before the games, but yeah, he did do a lot though. If I was a Stoke fan, I think I wouldn't be, wow, he's got to go. I think he's done a lot for the club, and I enjoy him as a manager, especially after Pullis, that sort of like very defensive structural manager, and the Hughes coming in develops that more. Mm-hmm. But no, I think it was time.
Because, of course, Mark Hughes, he's brought in some good players this season. He's got Wimmer, he's got Zuma. Who else he's brought in? He had Mbula last season. And these are all quality players that should be in a top 10 side. Yeah. And it just seems like they're not performing. I think they've got one of the worst defensive records this season, which is shocking, really, because they've got Shawcross, great defender as well. And they've got Butland in goal. I think what's happened is they've lost their kind of sense of team. And I think from the outside, it looks like Mark Hughes has actually lost the dressing room. And I think once that happens, even if Mark Hughes has been a great manager for them, I think that's the point where you've got to kind of move on and get a new man in to kind of motivate the team again.
Yeah, no, that's right. But who's going to come in?
Yeah, that's another big question, because I think the board were reluctant to sack him purely because they didn't know who else. I mean, I think Mark Hughes admitted it in a press conference saying, well, who else are you going to bring in? And that is a brilliant question, because as a Swansea fan, when we sacked Mark Clement, I was struggling to think who could come in. Are they going to have to get a Championship manager? I think Rowett's been linked from Birmingham. That's a big question, and will it pay off?
Yeah. Well, I hope so. Like, I think they're a solid team, but like you were saying earlier with their team, like defensive wise, they've got Zuma in there, they've got Shawcross, they've got Butland. Like, people have been praising Butland so much, thinking should he overtake Hart not getting much games? It's looking good for him, and now conceding so many goals, it's not going to look good in his record.
No.
Tom Heaton injured, and
Nick Pope playing well.
Or was it Tom Pope or Nick Pope? One of them.
One of them.
the Burnley keeper anyway, that's come in because Heaton's been injured for quite a while now. Remember, he went like September something.
Yeah.
And they thought, a couple of months max. It's bad, but it's not awful. Young keeper comes in, playing very well. It seemed, making some top saves. But yeah, we've sort of gone from everyone thought, wow, we've got so many keepers coming in.
So now...
And now we're looking at it and then we're thinking, do we? And are they that good?
Yeah. I think that is a topic for another day, but I think that we've gone on our first tangent there.
Yeah, going to happen.
Yes, but that would be a very good topic to discuss. Who would take the England goalkeeping position at the World Cup? We might have to ask that in the next show. But moving on to another kind of upset, which was Nottingham Forest beating Arsenal 4-2. Now, this game really does bring up the question as to whether Premier League teams should play a weakened side against lower opposition in cup competitions. Because here, Arsenal and Arsene Wenger has been punished for playing a fairly young and weak squad.
Yeah, looking at the team, I can't really see anyone in there that's going to be getting in the first team much. Maybe Iwobi or El Neni, but the others like Ospina, Mertesacker, Walcott, players that I've not heard of myself, like Nelson, like I don't really see them getting into the squad much. And it is an interesting topic because obviously as a fan, you want to see your club do the best they can. You want to see them compete in all of competitions that they enter. But then a manager's got to make a decision. Okay, am I going to play a really strong team? Have I got to worry about fitness? If you've got lots of games around you, especially after Christmas period, do you want to rest some of your best players? Which is understandable. And obviously, playing a weakened side, do you think, do I need to play my strongest team that I'll be playing against City as I do in Notts Forest in the Cup? You wouldn't have thought so. But then obviously, from a fan's perspective, you want to see the best team. And then when some managers say, well, I'm not bothered about the Cup, or they think they should concentrate on the league, it's a difficult question. I think, personally, I'd like to obviously see my club. I'd always want to see Gillingham, or that I'm sure they would as well, play their best team in the Cup. But if I was an Arsenal fan, I definitely would want to see my best players playing him, because I'm thinking, realistically, looking at the league, City are probably going to get it. I'd be very shocked if they didn't. I would then try and push for a cup or something. Yeah, but what a result for Forest. Yeah, wow.
You again, I think I said this about Coventry. You can't knock Nottingham Forest for beating Arsenal because it's still a Premier League side, and you've got Premier League players. You've got Welbeck, Walcott. You just got these quality. But I look at the Arsenal side and I think I see none of those players in the first team squad week in, week out. They're all backup, all reserve players. And is that squad rotation gone too far? I mean, I know players are susceptible to injury. I know players need to be fresh for big games. But is this a one step too far? Do you think, in the fact that he's got no first team players? In my opinion, I think managers do have a right to rotate. But is this too far?
Yeah, like, if I was going to have to rotate, if I was worried about fitness or injury, I'd have a couple of core players. I'd play one of my best centre-backs. I'd play my captain. I'd basically try and structure it core. So I'd have one of my main strikers maybe, one main midfielder, one main defender, goalkeeper maybe, not so sure. But just having a sort of structure and a backbone, a completely new team. How often do you see those 11 playing together? They're not playing week in, week out in the Premier League. They don't really know players. You've got players who've been there for ages that don't get much game time, like Walcott and Welbeck. You've got youngsters that no one's heard of, like Nelson. You've got players like Iwobi and El Neni who sometimes get in, sometimes get out. And just think of that back four. I've never seen, Debussy, Mertesacker, Holding, and Maitland Niles, I think, and then Ospina in goal. you've got to have a solid, consistent defence because people just aren't aware. There was a big thing with Gillingham where we were switching between two goalkeepers. One would be confident coming out for every corner, every cross. The other, very hesitant but very good at reflex saves, so he didn't really need to. And so many mistakes were made where our defender would be ready to head the ball away. Does he go for the header and get wiped out by our keeper because he's coming to claim it? Or does he hold off and think, oh, my keeper's going to come, but then no one comes and the striker runs through? And time after time, it's just consistency. But yeah, I don't know. And especially with like Wenger being under so much pressure right now, was that bold move? I don't think so.
I would tend to agree with that, and I think this topic is a divisive one, whether you rotate or not. But I think we can't take away from Nottingham Forest what they did. And actually, did you see the corker of a goal from Eric Lehigh?
Oh yeah, I wish we could play it.
Yeah,
yeah, it was very good. If for those who don't see, someone heads it out, maybe holding, and then it's edge of the box. He takes it on his chest and then volleys it top left corner. Ospina's he's stumbling, but he's nowhere near it. It's a great finish.
You've got to see the goal. If you go on YouTube or any other site, you can just watch it over and over again. It doesn't get boring. Well, that's kind of the end of the bit of the FA Cup. We've, of course, got the draw tonight.
Yeah.
Of course, Swansea, my team, we drew 0-0 to Wolves, which wasn't the best result. And I think the Gillingham weren't in the FA Cup, but the side they lost to...
Yeah, Carlisle we lost to away. It was a weird one. We played up, I think we played like Fleetwood on Saturday, and we had Carlisle on Tuesday, and we thought we might as well stay up there. I think the team stayed, or they came back. There's a lot of travelling involved in it, and then I think we lost 1-0 or 2-0, and then they played Sheffield Wednesday, and it was a 0-0 draw, so they've got a replay. But I always try and like to follow just to see where would we end up. Would we get that big result?
Yes. And that draws to an end. So, of course, if you want to keep up to date with the FA Cup, you can watch the draw tonight. Hopefully your clubs will get a good team in the next round, whether that's a big club or a small club if you want looking to progress. But now that brings us on to the next segment, and this ends this segment. Hello and welcome back to the commentary box. The second segment is upon us, where we will be talking about transfers. Of course, the transfer window is now open, so we'll be talking about the big deals and rumours surrounding certain players. So, Coutinho, he is the elephant in the room. He signed for Barcelona for about £130 million. A lot of money, Jake, isn't it?
It is a lot of money. I wish Gillingham could have that amount of money, but no, what a signing for Barcelona, of course, hoping to slot into that Iniesta role when he goes, getting on to 32, 33 now, Iniesta is, and it's a lot of money for Liverpool. Obviously, getting Van Dijk in straight away, another big move. That's most of their money already, but they've still got a bit to go with. I think defensive area now improved. Personally, I don't think enough, but that's a topic for another day. Anyway, Coutinho carrying on. There was a thing I heard that he spent 11 million of his own money to break the move forward to confirm him definitely going, because it wasn't 100% definite, and he actually inputted his own in, and crazy. I shocked.
That's a lot. I mean, we're talking about a lot of money there. I mean, we know footballers earn a lot of money, but that's a lot of personal money. It must show that he really wants to go to Barcelona. I wouldn't say he really wants to leave Liverpool, if that makes sense, because I think he's shown that he's committed to Liverpool, and that he was committed to Liverpool, so to say, because he stayed there and he played really well, and he was actually on course goal scoring wise to beat any record he had in previous seasons, because he had 7 goals already this season. And I think that's shown really the real character of him, because he could have made a fuss like Van Dijk did and not kind of play for the first 3 games, say he had an injury, but he didn't. He chose to play. He chose to continue to form for the club, and I think Liverpool fans should be really grateful of that. I mean, of course, it's sad to see him leave, but I think they've got a really good deal for that price, Liverpool, and I think they could really strengthen in other areas, like we said, defence. They've already now done with Van Dijk, but maybe in a centre defensive midfielder, because they've got a wealth of attacking players already. And I mean, Coutinho was probably the best one out of those players, but they've now got Salah, Firmino's playing brilliantly, Mane's there, Lallana's back. I think they won't miss him as much as they think they will. I mean, of course, anyone would miss Coutinho, but I think this is a really good transfer for Liverpool in the overall scheme of things.
No, definitely. I'm talking to one of my friends, a Liverpool fan, and I was sort of saying to him, like, yeah, you've lost your best player, looking at it, but I don't think they're going to suffer too badly. Like you said, they've got Firmino, Mane, Lallana, Salah, all in there, all playing very well. Are we going to see much dip in goals from Barcelona? Personally, I don't think so. I think it's a great move for him as a player, of course. I think it's a lot of money to Liverpool play with. I think the fans will be... They're obviously going to be disappointed that you lose your best player. You're never going to be happy at that. But I think they're going to be happy that he's done a lot for the club. What a signing. They paid like a ridiculously low fee for him. It was not much at all. And yeah, it's a really good move. I did hear something that like there might have been a couple of games where he didn't play because of injury, but I don't know how accurate that is. And I know that I heard a thing where people were discussing, is he going to go now? Is he going to go in the summer? There would only be one reason, I think, which he may have gone in the summer, which is maybe like, I'm pretty sure he's cup tied from Champions League.
Yes, he is, yeah.
And then would he want to see out the season with Liverpool, do well, and then play for Barcelona? But if you're going to, it's Barcelona. Yeah, you wouldn't turn that down.
I mean, Barcelona are surprisingly doing very well this season. I think they're 12 points clear in La Liga. But they're playing a 4-4-2 at the moment. I think the fans are happy, but they want to see a bit of spark. And I think the manager and the board have brought in Coutinho to kind of bring that spark into the team, because though they're playing well, they just need a bit of energy. It's disappointing that we won't see him in the Champions League for Barcelona, seeing that they're one of the best club sides in the moment this season. But I think he'll fit it well into the team. I think he'll work well, South American kind of flair to him. So I think that's a very good deal all round. But then we're going to move on to another transfer that kind of shocked me that it still happened, and that's Barkley to Chelsea for 15 million. I'm a bit surprised about the price here. And is he going to play, do you think?
Well, we'll look about the price. Think about it. He hasn't played at Everton for a while. I don't even know if he played this season at all. You know, he's young. He's English. He has a bit of talent, but he dropped off and we didn't hear much about him. And I think he's one of those players that I think people have forgotten about. And then seeing him come up and then Chelsea have gone in, they've got a 50 million deal. I think that's a good price for him, a very good price, especially in today's market, which is just blown out of proportion massively. But I think that's a good price for him. I think playing wise, he's a number 8. Which is interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Obviously, he's not going to turn down number 8.
No.
He's not going to go for 13 or something. But yeah, he. I don't know whether he's going to play as much as he would like. I think him going into player to a big club like that, he's thinking, it's my next move. I'm going to be playing occasional football, maybe even regular football. But I don't know. I think maybe a cup start for him would be good in the next round. I think Chelsea got a replay actually, so in their replay game, maybe get him in. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see where and how often he plays. Obviously, he plays as more of a centre attacking midfielder. Did so for Everton, has some very good spells, a bit of talent. But yeah, it'd be interesting because if this goes well for him, his England career could be opened back up, and wow, he could be one of our best players.
You've stolen the words out of my mouth, because I was about to say, if he has a good 6 months, could he be in the England squad? That's another question that could arise from Barkley moving to Chelsea. But I think he's been injured a lot of the season, and I'm not sure if he's 100% fit. But if he is, where is he going to fit in that midfield? Because you've got Drinkwater, you've got Fabregas, you've got Kante. You've just got a wealth of talent already in that midfield. I mean, do they need another midfielder? Potentially, but
it's going to be difficult. And they also got Bakayoko as well.
Yeah, Bakayoko.
It's when they signed Drinkwater as well. I was shocked.
I thought, where's he going to play as well?
Exactly. How's he going to fit in? Why would he want to make that move? Well, obviously you want to improve your career, but then it's I don't know, but we'll have to see. We will.
Rumours wise, we don't have a lot of time to talk about it, but we can say that David Luiz, is he going anywhere, do you think?
Yeah, possibly. Hasn't played for ages. I don't think this season at all until the cup game recently, and he would be the sort of player that I wouldn't be surprised if he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I've had enough.
It's interesting because he said on his return that he had unfinished business. Do you think he's completed that business?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird statement, but yeah, I'm not sure really, but yeah, he's gone. Well, gonna go for him. He probably wants to, not playing. Obviously, you want to. Looking at other players, Mahrez possibly going to Liverpool.
I think that's nonsense.
I don't know. I don't know if that will happen. I can see it happening, but then I don't know where he's going to fit in. They've lost a central player, and then they want to buy a wide player.
Yeah,
I can see the logic and where that wouldn't work. Another player, Sanchez. Talked of him possibly going to City for 25 million, which obviously sounds so low in today's market, but like we were talking about earlier, his contract's expiring. He could just simply make a deal with Arsenal, go, I'm going to play it safe, get it, or I don't know. I don't know if Arsenal are offering him a contract. I'm sure they want to, and he may have turned it down, but no, him to City could be an interesting one, and he would be a great asset to that team, and wow, they would definitely want it. And do they really need it? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Still.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll leave you with the Sanchez and Ozil roundabouts. And that sadly is the end of the show today. I do actually have one trivia question that we will reveal the answer to next week, which is who scored for Wigan against Manchester City in the 2013 FA Cup final?
Ooh.
The answer will be revealed next week, but that is it for now. Thank you for listening to the Commentary Box, our very first one. We hope you have enjoyed it. And of course, if you would like to get in contact
with us, you can head over to our Twitter page, which is @BoxCommentary, or our brand new YouTube channel where we'll be uploading all of our podcasts to @TheCommentary Box.
You can just contact us with questions, any topics you want us to discuss, and we maybe even put some polls on Twitter for you to enter. We hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you next week.
See you then.